episode of Playing Telephone. I'm Scarlett Sanchez.
I'm Dennis Kluba.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Was a little bit hungover last night. This is the 4th of July episode. If you didn't know.
So cheers.
Cheers. This will air the July 5th, I guess, technically. Mm-hmm. So when you are inevitably hungover,
you can listen
to this
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's happening right now.
It'll be right now for them.
We're actually recording it, though, the weekend of 4th of July. I'll be out of town over the actual date, so I had to get this in, before the trip. I'm excited, though.
Yeah, with a couple beverages.
Have a little bit more
coffee.
fun than we normally do. Wink, wink. We're always having fun. Charlotte was saying that we have so many serious topics.
Yeah, we do. So it's not the best, let's have a
drink.
fun drinking episode. But we'll take a sip every time.
I'm just out of my bag.
Dennis makes a serious situation funny.
Exactly. So it'd probably be the whole episode. That being
start
said,
chugging.
Yeah, the first topic that we're going to cover today is Madonna was recently hospitalized, right?
Yeah, she's been, her manager announced on Wednesday that she had been hospitalized. Mm-hmm. She was found unresponsive last Saturday in New York. Yeah,
really?
And then she was hospitalized for a severe bacterial infection.
I saw this and I think that that is super scary. I didn't realize that she was found unconscious. Mm-hmm. But also, I think that's a weird word to me when we're talking about hospitalized is like bacterial infection. I feel like is something that could either explain I got some dirt in a cut.
It could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to know what it is. And then it's she was in the ICU. I'm like, oh my gosh, what does that mean?
I think some people were thinking it was plastic surgery related at
first.
Maybe something went wrong.
Juicy.
Yeah, but it actually turns out she's been having a fever the past month, and she's been ignoring all of her symptoms because she has that tour coming up, her celebration tour, 40th anniversary, going to do all of her songs.
Right.
And it starts July 15th in Vancouver. Now that's going to be obviously postponed because she needs to recover and everything. But she's home now. She was released on this past Wednesday. So the same day that he told us was when she got out of the ICU in the hospital.
Yeah. Strange. Mm-hmm. It has been the year of odd hospitalizations, though.
It really has.
Odd diseases.
Yeah. There was a report that she feels like she has to compete with the younger artists. She was putting in 12 hours of rehearsals and really pushing herself. I don't know if it has to do really, in my opinion, about the younger artists. I just think when you're a performer like that, everything feels competitive or not competitive, but you just always want to put forth your best.
Yeah.
So, and especially for such a huge tour, I guess, can you call it a comeback tour kind of? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But.
Yeah. Okay. Number one, I skipped over this. Mm-hmm. Ignoring or having anything for a month is hilarious. Having
I had a cold for a month and it's the worst.
A month-long cold?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. You have a cough or a runny nose or something.
Yeah.
A month-long fever?
That's really bad.
Yeah, that's who doesn't say after 3 days, hey, I'm consistently 102 internal temp.
She knew her tour was coming up so soon that she's like, I have to rehearse. I have to keep going.
No matter what.
Yeah.
I get that. She
didn't want to postpone or cancel it, which now it is going to be, but yeah.
She at least postponed it, though. Mm-hmm.
She still wants to do all 84 dates and give it her all, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely a sign that if you aren't feeling well, you should go to the doctor.
Yeah, check it out.
Unconscious, yeah.
Where does, just because we're kind of, I feel like a different generation, where does Madonna stand on your icon list? I think she is.
Oh, she's very high up there.
But I think it's just weird, ever since we were growing up, it's she was already out of her kind of her
main era.
I think her peak Britney era.
Yeah.
She was in 90s and 80s. She was the it girl.
Yeah, before our time.
So it's kind of one of those things where she is still an icon and is a big deal, but also I'm not as enamored with her as maybe a different generation would be. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fair point. But the fact that we still know so much of her music is also very telling, even though
we're there when it was happening.
To Like a Virgin.
I'm always partying to Like a Virgin. Also, she does one of those things where I put her in that one list of not uncancelable, but remember when she was just bopping with Kanye a little bit ago and she kind of just like slid out of that.
Yeah. It was one hangout though. I don't
Okay.
think I'm gonna cancel her for that.
Not one hangout makes a villain.
It's okay, and somehow Kanye's still doing all right. So.
Married.
Yeah. Married to Bianca.
Exactly.
It was the most random turnaround.
But yeah, hopefully she gets better. Like I said, we've seen so many like artists right now having such weird diseases and having to like stop touring or like actually cancel dates. We're still worried that Justin like maybe will never do as I bet he won't ever do as big of a tour as he did when he was
I don't think
20
he will,
or
sadly.
Did you see him ever?
I saw him. He came to LA to do a Q&A. So I was like, oh, cool. So I went. And then he ended up surprising everyone and doing his whole album acoustically. So
He did the whole album?
He did like 10 songs.
If I'm going to surprise, I'll do like one or two.
It was basically an entire concert. It was awesome.
That's cool.
But it was really chill. Like he was like skateboarding and singing on stage. I hate myself right now.
That's probably one of the best clips this show's ever produced.
It was super chill.
No, it was super chill. He was like skateboarding, playing songs on his guitar.
Good times, Beats. Yes, I've never seen him though.
That is really sad though for like I wouldn't put, are you a mega fan?
What? Madonna?
Bieber.
A mega fan of Bieber?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
okay.
so.
But for you to have never seen him,
I know.
I'm sad to think that you might never.
I wanted to go see the Justice tour, and then my sister also had tickets to go see it, but got obviously canceled.
It's over now. Well, hopefully Madonna gets better. She's a fighter. I believe in her.
Yeah.
Maybe take some time off every once in a while though.
I know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not pushed back too far.
Yeah. I hope. Yeah.
Okay.
She's a different breed. She'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I trust her. But that wasn't the only person that we saw that was having issues like over the past week where they, had to go seek some help. Pete Davidson checked back into a mental health facility, Rehab.
Yeah, he went to rehab for his borderline personality disorder and PTSD. Apparently he checks himself in regularly.
I heard
just kind of do tune-ups and tune-ups. Never really used that.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Tune-ups, that's what the source said. And whenever he needs some sort of mental health break, which the timing is interesting because of what's been going on with him recently. Obviously, we had that PETA voicemail that he left, remember?
Why? I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
Because he bought the dog, and then PETA called him out for not going to a shelter, and then he left
By local
crazy rant on this person's
We were on
voicemail.
Pete's side, though.
We were. But I think maybe there was some stress there. I don't know. Could that add to it?
A little anger, maybe.
I think some anger with that situation, but also the reaction that everybody else had to, like just having a lot of negative spotlight.
Well, what about
him.
The car?
And then that's what I was going to say too. He was also charged with reckless driving recently because he slammed his car into a home in Beverly Hills with his girlfriend, which they still said there's no alcohol or drugs involved.
Yeah, I'm like,
just maybe speeding.
I don't know. I don't regularly drive into homes, but
which is also, I don't know how this really ties into it. Well, it's the house, but it's completely demolished now. They completely took it apart.
Conspiracy.
Weird, right? I don't know.
And that house no longer exists. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's an odd one.
He could also spend 90 days in jail and also get a fine. So he could get some jail time for this.
But he won't get, I mean, what I never know how that process works of like
can you just pay it off?
Yeah, like
can you actually?
We don't want Pete in jail.
I mean, Young Thug's in jail. A lot of people have been in jail.
Like, yeah, I don't guess. I guess he could. I don't know.
90 days just seems like a long time for Pete.
90 Day Fiance, jail style.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you know, I've really turned a corner on Pete personally. If you've listened to this show, I was a hater. I'll say it. Big Pete Davidson hater.
Drink to that.
Yeah. But I really had come around in the past couple months.
It's because he's not dating Kim anymore.
I think I was coming around
while he was still with her, right?
Yeah. It was more that I had got over my jealousy and was just more like, hey, let's just be peers here and just I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's just sad because it's like I do want him to do well, and I think he's like a good person.
Yeah.
It's just tough when you see like somebody with that spotlight on them kind of like going through like so many different struggles, I feel like.
Yeah. And he's always been open about it, though, and I think that's a really cool part about him, too, his openness about it, and then also the fact that he decides to go in himself. Like, when he's like, I need a break. Okay, I'm going to go get some help.
Yeah. I also, very
like
serious.
Madonna, who
Anti-help.
Yeah.
Obviously, very serious situation. Borderline personality disorder, getting checked in, you know, going to work on himself. But also, it's kind of funny, the idea of, like, going to rehab just like a hotel stay. You know what I mean? Like,
Some, like rich people.
yeah, because it's kind of like you would think that rehab facilities, you would only use them if you really needed them. And I'm sure he does. It's just funny to think that you would like be like, I'm back.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, I think somebody else like might need the space like a little bit more than you. You're like, no.
I mean, I guess having the ability to do that
Yeah.
when he can. So why not?
I thought it was funny too. Not funny, ironic that the same mental health facility that he checked himself into was the same one that John Mulaney was at when he was going through rehab. And he literally like, on his show Bupkis, which is on Peacock, he literally talks about that because John Mulaney's in that show for like, you know, this cameo.
Right.
And they talk about rehab in there. It's just kind of weird. Like the source was like, it's art imitating life, imitating art again. It's like, yeah, like he went to rehab in real life. They talk about it in the show, and now Pete's going to rehab as well. I'm like, weird.
Well, yeah, because that show is based on his life, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
we told it before, and then he's like, oh, now I'm going to go.
Yeah.
We'll sneeze from our producer. But yeah, hopefully Pete gets better. We should definitely keep an eye, though, on dodging jail time /
I know.
conspiracy.
Not slamming into houses.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how long he's planning on staying there.
His girlfriend, Sue Wonders, his family have said that, and friends, all supportive of him going to, rehab mental health facility to try and work through some of the stuff that, you know, he's been going through right now. So that's good.
Which they didn't state exactly what it is. We're just kind of speculating. Maybe these two things have had
recurring episodes or whatever. Yeah, we really don't know. So for now,
more information. We'll
let you know, keep you updated. I might check in just to check on him. I'm going to check into rehab to check in with him.
Maybe call John Mulaney first.
See how it was.
He wants to see you.
He doesn't respond to my letters that I send him. So weird.
I also called him
you did call him the other day.
It's okay.
Yeah, but that again, we've had a terrible. I was jumping into Lil Nas X. I'll jump into that. A terrible streak of artists performing and the weird things being thrown on stage.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like this has been something we talk about every week now, recently.
It is an ongoing,
Rexa, we had Pink with the ashes getting thrown on
That's
stage.
my favorite one so far, though.
One was BB Rexa. There's been a ton more.
Yeah.
But just recently, over the weekend, Lil Nas X was performing at the European Lollapalooza in Stockholm. And he's in the middle of a song, and a sex toy gets thrown on the stage. That didn't hit him.
He dodged it.
Did he dodge it?
Yeah.
I guess he did kind of
Skirt.
Do you want to say what it was? Did you have one?
No, I do not. That'd be so scary. It's like I'm assuming it's like a fleshlight or something.
And what's a fleshlight?
It's like instead of a dildo, it would be male's private parts. It was a female. It was a vagina.
I really just wanted
You just need to say that. Okay. That sounded uncomfortable when it was.
Yeah, I can tell it was uncomfortable for you.
But somebody threw that on stage.
Yeah.
He dodged it.
But then he picked it up.
Yeah. He's like, who threw that pussy on stage? Yeah.
Which I think was a great reaction.
Yeah, and he's hilarious. Just like is always talking about sexuality, and like I feel like he deals with it well.
Yeah. They did cut the video off though. I wonder if he threw it back or held onto it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would probably throw that away.
I wouldn't want to touch that.
Yeah.
Where's that been?
So would you rather have somebody throw something at you on stage when you're performing or fall?
Or fall? Me fall on stage?
Hey, you
like
fall
I'm
on
the
stage.
performer?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because that's also, I feel like we saw Post Malone fall. We saw Morgan fall. Shania Twain just fell over the weekend. Pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I would much rather have something thrown at me on stage. And
what
also,
about Rexa, like get hit in the face?
but with my athleticism, I'm definitely catching that before it gets to my face, or I'm dodging it like Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
A fall is you're performing, looking out the crowd. There's a hole in the stage, or like whatever. Mm-hmm. That's way more dangerous and way more embarrassing.
Yeah, an injury can come either way though.
It's true.
Phoebe got 3 stitches.
She did.
Really gnarly black eye.
That wasn't the only person. We missed it in between. Kelsey Ballerini had something that was literally last week. It was in between. It was like in between our last 2 episodes.
She had a bracelet thrown at her. She was not happy.
No, she went off stage and like stopped the song, and then came back.
She came back later and was like, "Guys, we really need to start prioritizing safety and everything," which is true. It's getting a little ridiculous.
But also, we said this last week, and I think this is what it is, and we're part of the problem. We're talking about it, and whomever is throwing that stuff, I'm sure is like, "Oh,
that was me.
That's a story. I'm gonna do it now with something crazier."
I know. I don't know. The BB Rexa situation changed it for me because it's just like not funny.
No, yeah.
And like the ashes is kind of interesting. Like that's kind of funny. The sex toy, okay, that's kind of funny. When you're not directly throwing it at the artist's face. But do you think for it to stop, artists just have to completely stop interacting with any items in general? Like if something gets thrown on stage, like technically Lil Nas X, maybe instead of picking it up and saying a joke, like just leave it. Don't touch it.
Ignore it.
Ignore it, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what needs to happen, actually, ignoring things. I also think, though, that there's a way as well with all of this stuff. You can throw things on stage.
Yeah.
Big difference between trying to hit people.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why wouldn't you just, like, I get you want to get their attention with your item, whatever that is. But also, it's like, I think of people throwing flowers or, like, throwing, when girls used to throw, like, bras and stuff like that. Right. It's like, you could throw it on stage that isn't, like, at that person trying to decapitate them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, at their feet.
Yeah. I think that's
normal. Yeah. Like, that's like a normal thing that you can do. Also, the whole phone situation, I don't want to talk about the past, but that's insane.
What?
That you would, like, throw your phone and never get that back?
I'm assuming he probably got it back, right?
Well, after he got, like, arrested.
Yeah, well, yeah, he got arrested and charged for it, but
I'm saying if you part ways with your phone, how do you plan on getting that back?
Hoping she's not too pissed and will hand it back. I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Like, what was your plan after that?
I guess he was willing to lose his phone over it.
Lose a
he
phone.
He didn't care.
Yeah.
He was like, I'd rather chuck this at her face. She wore protective eyeglasses at her most recent show.
That's what I would do too. Make it a statement.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, but hopefully that trend stops. I'm not vibing with it anymore, even though I do think throwing sex toys on stage is a funny bit. Yeah. I think that's funny.
Yeah. If it just stayed that way.
Yeah, guys, if you're going to throw anything, fleshlights, vibrators, throw that on stage, which, I don't know, I've never bought. I don't think those are cheap, are they?
No.
Yeah, so that's another high ticket item that it's like, yeah, I'm just going to part ways with this.
It's not like $2,000 though.
That's true.
Or $1,000. How much are phones? Like,
how much are phones? Whatever.
$1,000 plus.
Yeah.
What you're getting. Yeah.
Okay, so vibrators aren't $1,000 plus.
No, they're like. It's not my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know.
Addicts is selling them, so obviously I clicked.
Just to check it out.
I think they range from like 60 to 100 plus. Also.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know how much the flush thing. How much does that cost?
I have no idea. Probably like 50 to 100.
Okay.
I'm just thinking basic model. I don't know. The basic. Yeah.
No additional.
No deluxe. Yeah. No. The 7-part attachable.
The blow up.
Yeah.
All right.
Off of this topic. Stop throwing things on stage.
Yeah.
One of your favorite people, Chrissy Teigen,
Sure.
had a baby over the weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She announced it.
Yeah.
I think she waited a week to tell everybody.
Probably a smart
idea. Yeah, she wrote on Instagram that her and John Legend just had their 4th baby together. They had it via surrogate. Through a surrogate. Mm-hmm. Her name's Alexandra. She had like a whole Instagram.
The surrogate is.
The surrogate's
yeah.
Alexandra. The baby's name is Ren. Alexander, named after the surrogate, the middle name.
The baby's name is Ren.
Ren Alexander.
Oh, okay.
First and middle.
Yeah.
And then the surrogate's name was Alexandra, so they kind of wanted to...
I actually really like that name.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
I like it too. But it was kind of crazy because she just had a baby in January. Chrissy did. Their third kid. So obviously this one she carried.
Yeah.
And then
Chrissy had the baby in January.
Mm-hmm.
And then this.
And then when she was pregnant with Esty, she found out that her surrogate also got pregnant. Because essentially after they lost their son Jack last year.
Was that a miscarriage?
They had complications during the birth, so she actually had to have a life-saving abortion.
Procedure abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was sad. I remember that.
Yeah, that was really sad. That was September of last year.
I remember that very well. Yeah.
Okay. And after that, she's like, I don't think I can carry another kid, John. Like, we still want to have more kids. So then they were like, okay, let's start looking into surrogacy. Yeah. And then in the post too, she was explaining all this. She said, then one morning she told him, I want to give it another try. Like, let's have another one. And then, so then they just
in the surrogate, she got actually pregnant again.
Yeah.
And then
so in 5 months into her pregnancy, she finds out that Alexandra's also pregnant.
How weird is that conversation going to be between Ren and then the third child named Esty, you said?
Esty, yeah. And they have Miles and Luna, who are 7 and 5.
Also sneaky, she has 4 kids. I kind of that kind of blew over my head. But like that conversation with your kids, like, hey, so, usually it's like if you stop having kids, for example, Kim had the first 2, but then the second 2 were via surrogate because I think similar situation where body, complications. And, but then it's like when you have somebody so close in birth age where it's like, so mom, like what?
Why didn't they explain it?
You'll eventually have to have that conversation for sure.
That you're born through surrogate. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if your middle name is after the surrogate, you're going to have a relationship with that woman.
And she also talked about that too. She was like, I wanted to have someone that I became friends with and like our kids will play and everything together.
That's kind of a weird way to gain friends.
Get a surrogate.
Hey, I want to pay you to get pregnant.
I feel kind of weird having a relationship too close with a surrogate afterwards because I don't know, does the kid start to think that that's their mom?
It is their mom.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Obviously I haven't had kids, so I don't really know that feeling.
We should explore this more. The mysteriousness of a surrogate. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just like, obviously it's John's swimmers.
Yeah, and her egg. That's how surrogacy, yeah.
Not Chrissy's,
No, it is, right?
No.
Oh, God. Yes, because they have their genes.
No, they have the mom's genes.
No. It's not like they had sex or
No. It's they're whatever.
You're in biology class now.
It's his swimmers.
Yeah.
That get implanted into
with her egg. No, and then they do a fusion, a transfer where they are able to get her pregnant.
Oh, this is heavy.
Yeah, and the first one didn't take, so then she had to do it again. Yeah, it's a very complicated.
And so all she's doing is like literally harboring a human that she has nothing to do with?
Yeah, from what I've understood.
As a whole, I thought it was like, hey, you pick somebody that literally you think you like them and like the way that like the genes that they have, and then you have it's like that's your kid. That's why it's so important when you're picking out a surrogate because you like there's so many people have so many preferences.
I thought it mattered mainly because you want to make sure they're gonna like.
You want to make sure you're friends with them.
You're gonna be in good health, yeah, and friends with them like Chrissy wants.
Chrissy for a little bit there lost all of her friends, so maybe this was a good way to.
She did. She was looking for friends, really. Yeah, you're right. Dang it. And I guess to complete her.
So
perfect family,
I'm looking for a surrogate. Have to be cool. Have to want to go out with me afterwards.
Likes this kind of music.
Yeah.
Time to go to a country concert.
Yeah. So
Dennis
that's 4 kids.
Cowboy hat. Just
if you're listening.
If you're listening.
Whoever's out there, if you're listening, I'm wearing a cowboy hat. But yeah, I think that she has kind of toned it down with how annoying she was there for a while.
Yeah.
She was a
bully.
That's what I'm saying too. I
hope she toned it down.
But the thing was, remember when that story came out? How mean she was. It was not
She told
like
someone to kill themselves.
that's the thing that's very different of like I look at people that sometimes like get canceled or from like old tweets and they're kind of just like I feel like they're like making fun of things.
Yeah.
She was mean.
Really mean.
And it like you said, it's things that really you can't even remotely take back.
No.
Like when you say that to somebody.
And I was like, well, not that when you're younger. I mean, you are a little bit not as smart, but like and there's more to learn in life or whatever.
Yeah.
But she did that when she was like in her adulthood too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should bully at any age, but you know what I mean?
If it came out, if you're like John Legend or let's put you in the future.
Yeah.
It's like your husband and it came out like later, you guys are already married, have a couple kids, like, hey, like your husband was super mean and like blackmailed people and like bullied people. Would you be like
so uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I'm sure they had to have really had to work through that, right? He loves her so much.
Yeah.
They seem like a very strong couple, obviously from our point of view.
I think they are.
And
I mean, if you've been through the stuff that honestly, John's a saint. If you've been through the stuff that Chrissy's been through, you're gonna and not gotten divorced, you're gonna stick it out.
Right. And we talked about grief last episode.
That helps bond.
It can, or it can break you, and they got through that.
Yeah, you get through that as well. She only had the one death though, right? Or did she have a? I thought she had like
just
two.
Jack.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought for some reason she had like another miscarriage or something, but
Maybe she did in between, but I don't think it went all the way. Like she was giving birth.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm happy that we've added Ren to the world. However, Ren got here by whomever's body or egg. And then also, it's Esty, but I want to say Etsy. That'd be funny if they named her Esty after the
website.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be a weird conversation to explain later. But happy for them.
Yeah.
And then once again, another story that seems to be ongoing, especially with this rom-com, hard R for romance.
Anything about you?
Anything
Out in
about
December.
you? It's still a long way away.
I'm like, come on. I had to double check because I was like, is it out and we missed it?
Yeah.
But no, still not.
And Sydney Sweeney was just partying in Ibiza.
Yes.
It's basically her whole...
Yes. No fiance, no Jonathan to be found, but she was by the pool, out in the club, singing, out with friends.
How old is she?
24.
Okay.
24, 25 maybe.
Yeah. I mean, just celebrity things, right? Like summer, Ibiza.
People were wondering, where's your fiance? But a girl can go on a girlies trip.
Yeah, she can.
You know? Fiance doesn't need to be there everywhere you go.
Were there other guys on the boat or?
Okay. There was one photo that she posted on the stairs with another guy, but it seemed friendly. It wasn't like it was a flirty photo.
Well, that's the thing. I always I want to put it into like modern day regular humans space. Basically,
would you be okay if your girlfriend or whatever went on a trip without you, but there was guys there?
It would have to be friends that I knew really well, and it'd also have to be like, hey, like, I have to work through the weekend. I really just can't make it. Like, sorry.
Right.
But it's more like at that point, if you have the ability to take time off or do whatever, wouldn't you just want to go with your fiance?
Right. Yeah.
To Ibiza? It's like, I can't imagine him at home like watching golf by himself while you're like fiance parties. That's what I would hope is happening.
Or if it's just, well, sometimes I don't know. You want to do something just with friends. You don't, right?
But my fiance is my best friend, and
okay.
I want them to be friends with my friends, and we all have fun together.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go on this trip, you stay home.
Basically, though, if somebody else planned it and they didn't invite him...
Why would they not?
That's what I'm... Yeah, good point.
I think he had to have been super busy and just couldn't make it.
Okay.
And that's the thing that we have been harsh on sometimes with. He's not necessarily a celebrity, but I'm sure a high-profile person, I'm pretty sure. It's like... We always give the celebrity couples like trouble about, oh, we're too busy.
Right.
Maybe it's them. They're like a good example of, hey, you can go do something on your own. I'm busy. That doesn't mean we need to break up or whatever, but I have to work through the weekend. Yeah, that's just what it is.
I'm going to go to Australia and flirt with Glenn Powell a lot.
For some reason.
And you don't need to be there.
Do you, after all this stuff, if it were me, and maybe this is a differing opinion, I'd be interested to see what you think. Do you, like, I trust her more.
Really?
For some reason now, because like nothing has come out or happened
that we know of.
Yes, I'm assuming.
Like, think about Jennifer Lawrence and Liam Hemsworth that we talked about last week too. They kissed apparently in 2015, well after Hunger Games, but they admitted to it. So how do we know that maybe years down the line, Sydney Sweeney might admit to it? You know, or just go to the grave with it. I would
Take it to the grave.
take it to the grave.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just trust her more now because nothing has come out. That I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I trust you to go and do these things. And
Oh, you trust her like as if okay.
if I was dating her, versus I would say, what's your opinion if like you're dating a celebrity and there's these rumors, or you see the stuff of like they're doing the rom-com, and you're like, and he comes home, he's like, I'm telling you, this is what the press looked like.
Yeah.
But nothing happened. This is literally my job. I feel like it would almost grow the trust. Like I wouldn't be more.
Yeah, but that conversation would have needed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, if I kind of just see these photos suddenly going all over the place, I would be, a little bit of red flags coming up, questioning things.
It's the difference between avoiding it and being straightforward and being like, hey, I'm filming a rom-com. These are what the photos that are going to come out. I'm just letting you know.
And granted, he should just know that in general with the line of work that she's in. So that's to be expected. But I think it is kind of nice just in a partnership to be like, hey, this is what's going to be going on.
Yeah.
We're going to really be pushing this. But it's just still crazy to me, though. Like, Glenn and Gigi broke up. Why did they break up? Just the timing was too on point with all of the cheating allegations.
That now you're coming back to it did happen.
I still think it kind of happened, but so I don't trust her.
She always looks, to me, and I haven't watched Euphoria at all, but like she always looks like very young.
Yeah, I mean, she is young.
I know 24, but she has like one of those faces that like she has kind of like a kid face. That I'm kind of like, oh, like you're really pretty, but then I'm also like, are you?
Weird? Well, yeah, no, it's not weird because she's actually she's old enough.
I know I don't like it though.
You're just triggered by everything else that goes on in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's good awareness, Dennis.
Thank you. Hyper aware.
Okay.
Hyper. I asked for multiple forms of identification.
Good.
One thing that I did want to talk about though that really just came out of nowhere is that I'm so interested in. This week, Zayn Malik announced that he was coming back.
Yeah, he scrubbed his whole Instagram feed and then it just has like one post now.
That got 7 million, views, likes, etc. But
I'm not
the
mad.
biggest story that we talk about with him was that whole thing when he pushed Yolanda and a bunch of other stuff, and it's just like.
Yeah, I mean, him and Gigi are definitely not together. We've been seeing her out and about with Leonardo DiCaprio and other places too, but. Yeah, obviously they still have a baby together though, so they have to be in each other's lives in some way or another. But he's ready to drop some new music. I bet it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's how much of it too, in some degree, do you think it all was affected by you're seeing Harry crush it, not only his tour, but also in new music, but also like on the screen. He's been in a ton of movies. They've done pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm sure Zayn's like kind of at home, like, and I'm sure he had his own reasons for like not making stuff, but also like, okay, I should probably
start trying.
Like get my life back together.
That is like a hard part about, I feel like, being in a boy band or just a band in general, because it's so easy just to compare yourself. But at the end of the day, it's like Harry's just been dropping new music ever since they were done with One Direction. So
yeah, but remember when they broke up? It was like everybody was like Zayn's gonna be the guy, and he released the first.
Yeah, he did. First music after, but
and he left first, and then they stayed.
But also because there was drama, right? So
it was Zayn and I thought Zayn and Liam.
Yeah,
don't kill him. Which apparently he commented something on it.
Liam Payne. Oh,
I don't.
Some support.
I think it was something.
I don't think it's gonna be like you suck. It could be though.
I thought it was almost like backhanded or something.
Oh, of course. But
yeah, new music being released. Also, another person that just came back that we were talking about last week was Olivia Rodrigo.
I know, yeah.
Came out and did, I think she released one single. It's like Vampire. Yeah. Which we had said, where is this girl?
Yeah, she's been gone, so we called that.
But once again, we're comparing her to, like, it's just kind of annoying now, I feel like. Whenever you compare anybody to Taylor Swift, who literally drops a full new album every 6 months, I'm like expecting like good artists, like, okay, next where are you? Yeah. And it's like, it takes most like normal people time to like write a new album, take time off from touring.
Usually there is kind of a big gap.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But Taylor's like changed the game of, okay, next week I'm dropping 3 new songs.
I know, and I think something new is coming. Obviously, she's doing Speak Now, but that's a re-recording. But I think she's going to drop some new music pretty soon. Out in the studio with Maddie Healy. Not anymore.
No, we haven't heard much about that since. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I have for the 4th of July episode.
Great episode. Hope everyone had a good 4th.
Has a good 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any big plans for this week? You're off on the 4th.
So I'm off on the 4th. Probably,
hang out, hit the beach,
get after it, go to the beach.
Yeah.
And then I'm going home on the weekend to go meet my new niece, Isla.
Right. Is that Friday or Thursday you leave?
Thursday.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
What about you?
I'm going to be in South Carolina the whole week.
There we go.
I'm excited.
Don't forget the hat. Right.
I never will. All right. I think that wraps up this week of Playing Telephone.
Don't forget to follow us at Playing Telephone on Instagram and TikTok. And we're also posting full episodes on YouTube now.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.